Your art sucks. Your art sucks. And that is something we tell ourselves all the time, and it can kind of feel like a reality when we're not getting the engagement we want on social media. And to a certain point, it might just be true. When we say that our art sucks is a very dependent statement. When we're talking about expressing ourselves in the creative manner, when we say this art sucks or my art sucks, it's because we have a standard in mind. We have a standard that we like to hit, and that standard may be close and it may be far away. But that standard is always shifting as we move through our lives or our creative journeys, so to speak. The reason I started this video off with Your Art Sucks is there is, through my 5 years of doing this, doing design and the illustration, there is a kind of individual that exists in this space that is good. And when I mean good, I mean they're competent, but they lack the, almost like the humility to move up to that next level. And when I say they lack the humility to move to the next level, there is a kind of person who will give every excuse under the sun as to why they're not getting the engagement they want, or why their art aren't improving to hit the goal standard they may have in mind. And I'm guilty of this. I'm pretty sure some people out there are guilty of this. When we are creating, we get very defensive of the things we create because they're our creations, like our children. And when we see other people judge what we do as a creative or as creators, rightfully we get very indignant when people speak to us about the thing we created, especially when we ask for the help. Now, if you're getting unsolicited feedback, I can see how that could be a big problem. But there is a problem when you go to another creator, another artist, another designer, and you ask specifically for a critique on something, and what you do is let them speak, and then you give A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z of the reasons why I did X and why I did Z, and this is the way I do things. You did not want a critique. You did not want to hear this could be better. What you want to hear is this is really good, which is not what a critique is. And that is what will hold myself and others back from getting to the next level. But when I say art, and when I say there's a very big distinction, because art is very subjective. Design is not very subjective, but art is very subjective. When it comes to art, it can be a form of expression, but when it comes to illustration, when it comes to concepts, when it comes to producing a product, there are benchmarks and there is technical expertise that must be adhered to garner a certain level of respect from other artists and from the general community. When you fall into this trap of saying, this is how I do things, that's all fine, well and good for you to do the things you like to do the way you want to do them. But don't expect everyone to jump on your boat and say, well, I like this thing too, when they obviously do not. Being real with the things you do and being real with yourself, being humble and having a little bit of humility will get you further in your creative journey, in your design journey, in your illustration journey, by putting out your best work, which you believe to be your best work. I'm not saying pass in a C+ sketch or drawing to someone. Passing somebody what you believe to be your best work and asking for an honest critique, not just from one person, but from multiple people you have respect for, and saying, this is the best I technically can do at this level. How can I make it better? and then listening to what they say and then following through on it. This is the stepping stone that I learned early on before I even got into design work or illustration. This is something I learned doing martial arts. When you are looking to be not only competent at a certain form of martial arts, but to master a technique or to master a style, there is tutelage that must happen. There is a form, format, and process to develop the skills to break stone. There is a form, format, and process to jumping in the air and doing a 720 spin kick. And to just say, I do it this way, and when you keep falling on your hip and, you know, twisting your ankle out of place, the basic repercussions are a lot more evident, as opposed to when you're doing something that might be bordering on the line of objective and subjective, like art. So, when someone tells you what you do isn't great and it can be better, detach yourself from the thing you do. Detach yourself from the art you make. And don't feel so attacked, because what you create inevitably is a piece of yourself. But like all things, you want that thing to be better, you've got to work on it. Yeah. Well, I hope I didn't bump anybody out today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little talk. I had something that's on my mind a little bit recently. And when it came to my own illustration work over the past couple years, it took a lot for me coming from a design background and asking people for their honest feedback. Like, well, this is weird, neck's weird, you know, elbow's weird, working your hands. And like, you know, I'm still having that same hand problem. I'm still having those same hangups. They're getting better slowly. But at first, I got very defensive about the things I did. I got very defensive about the things I created. And that held me back. Even though I may be, to the outside observer, I may be moving at an exponential speed in terms of illustration, I could have been moving a lot faster. So, I wanted to put that little bee in your bonnet today. If you guys been by the stream, you guys saw that I am doing a little bit of a reconstruction of what we do there. And it's going to be bleeding out into my entire business and my strategy and everything leading into next month. So if you see the channel, you see the Twitch channel, you see everything that's going on, pardon our dust, but there will be some schedule changes. I will be changing the times I stream at some days. Ultimately, like this video, if I want to get better at something, I got to take time out to do it. So, with that being said, thanks for coming by. Check out King's Coast Coffee. Pick up your Conquer roast at kingscoastcoffee.com. Use code word Conquer. You know, get the dark roast. I got my own coffee. Pick it up. If you want to support this video, support what I do, please jump over to the Patreon or my Ko-Fi. They're both Young Con. This month I'll be working on a little bit of a tutorial on how I've learned my coloring, shading, and some things I learned for illustration. Doing a retro anime style, so that'll be fun. I'll be recording that right after this, so keep your eye out for that. But till then, keep fighting a good fight. See you guys next time.